Hi, today I'm sharing with you the granny square that I used in my Entrelac top. I shared the Entrelac top a couple of days back. To make this granny square, I am making a chain of 9 first, and I'm going to make it as a circle, so I'm going to join the 9th stitch to the first stitch using a slip stitch. After that, I'm going to make a chain of 3 and 2 double crochets in the circle. So these are 3 double crochets, including the chain of 3. Now I'll make a chain of 6. And then again I'll make 3 double crochets. I'll continue making 3 double crochets and a chain of 6, and I will do it 8 times. I have made 8 sets of 3 double crochets. I made chain 3 instead of chain 6, and I'm going to do double crochet in the first double crochet. That way my starting point for the next row will be the intersection of these two chains. Now for the next row, I'm going to do a chain of 3 and do 4 more double crochets. Instead of going into the chain space, to make this flower look more pointed, I'm going into the 2 chains, that is the chain number 3 and chain number 4 of the chain 6s that I was making, and then I am making 5 double crochets in these 2 chains together. Now I'll make a chain of 3 and move on to the next chain 6. Now I'm counting the 3rd stitch. I'll go into that and the 4th stitch. In these 2 stitches I'm going to make 5 double crochets. I'm doing that instead of going inside the chain space, I'm going in the 3rd and the 4th chain so that the flower looks more pointed. And I'm continuing this row by making 5 double crochets in each of the intersection, and these 5 double crochets will be separated by a chain of 3. I'm going to join the chain 3 using a slip stitch to the first double crochet, and that will end this row. In the next row, I'm going to make 6 double crochets. The first one will be a chain of 3. In the next chain or stitch, I'm going to make another double crochet. In the 3rd stitch, which is the center stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochets. So that will make the increase for this row. And then I'll make 2 more double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Now I'll make a chain of 3 and move on to the next double set of double crochets. And here again I'm going to make 6 double crochets by increasing in the 3rd stitch. I'm joining this row using a slip stitch, and you can see that the increases are appropriate because the flower is not curling inside or outside, so the increases are perfect. In the next row, I am increasing in the 4th stitch, so I am having 2 double crochets in the 4th stitch. So in this row I will have 7 double crochets, and I am also separating each section using a chain of 3. I will have 3 double crochets in the first 3 stitches. In the 4th stitch I will have 2 double crochets, which is the increase, and then again 2 double crochets in the last 2 stitches. It's important to see how your circle is shaping. So every time you finish a row, put it flat on the table and see whether the circle is sitting flat. If it is curling, that means you're not either increasing it properly or increasing it too much. From this row onwards, I will be decreasing the sections of double crochets. So I made a chain of 2 and then a chain of a double crochet in the next stitch and then pull through together. So that gives me only 1 stitch instead of 2 stitches. And then I'm doing double crochets in each of the stitches. So from 7, now I have 6 stitches. Now I'll do a chain of 7 instead of chain 3. And then I'll move on to the next section. I will decrease in the first and the second stitches, and I'll have total of 6 double crochets here. And continue this row by making chain 7 and 6 double crochets throughout. The next row is again a decrease. I will decrease in the first and the second stitches, and then I'll make 4 more double crochets. So I will have a total of 5 double crochets in this row. Then I'll make a chain of 7. And I'll do a single crochet in the 4th chain of the previous row. Again a chain of 7, and I will decrease in the next section of double crochets. I'm decreasing 1, and then I will have a total of 5 double crochets here. Again a chain of 7, a single crochet in the 4th stitch, chain of 7, and then go to the next section and decrease 1 more. In the next row I'm decreasing 1 more. This time I'll have 4 double crochets. And I'm doing chain 7. In the first chain 7 of previous row, I'm doing a single crochet. Again a chain 7. And in the next chain 7, I will do a single crochet in the 4th stitch. then again a chain 7 and decrease to 4 in the next section. In the next row, I'm decreasing 2 instead of 1 so that it looks more pointed. So I'm going into 2 of the stitches and having double crochets without pulling through, and then I'm pulling through all the 3 loops together, and then 1 double crochet. So I will have 2 stitches instead of 3, and then I'm making chain 7 and single crochet in the previous chains. In whichever chain I see, I'm going to do that. In the last row, I am going to make chain 5s and I will do a single crochet in the 4th stitch of the previous chains. I will continue doing that, but till now this granny square is mostly looking like a circle. So my objective of this row is to make it look more like square. So what I am trying to do is, between 2 petals, I am picking the center single crochet, which is this one. In that single crochet, I am going to do 1 single crochet, and then I am going to do 3 double crochets over that single crochet. And then I will continue making chain 5s and single crochets over the previous chains. After that, I am going to move on to the next 2 petals, which will be my next corner. As per my calculation, between 2 petals there are 4 such chains. So the center of these 2 petals, I am going to make this double set of double crochets of 3. Then I am going to skip the next 2 petals. I will not make any corner here. In the next 2 petals, again I will make a corner here by making 3 double crochets. So these 2 will be my one side of the square. Similarly, I have 2 more corners, and I'm going to pull these a little bit, the double crochets a little bit, so that it looks like a square. I've completed my granny square. To stitch it over the top, I am first fixing it using pins, and then I am stitching it using a white thread.